A very good evening and welcome to the news live on Channel Live.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Sharma Screenis.
I'm Javid Bonzo. We begin with the headlines.
The President of Afghanistan has extended well wishes to the President for becoming the chairman of the Commonwealth Nations. Pincom and other programs are being held throughout the country, celebrating the 3rd anniversary of President's second ascension to power. Minister of External Affairs said that the success of the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting has raised the fame of Sri Lanka. 670 rural electrification projects vested with the people within a short period. 20 persons have died in 2 bomb attacks at the Iran embassy in Lebanon.
And now for the stories in detail. The Afghanistan President Hamid Karzai has greeted President Mahinda Rajapaksa for becoming the chair of the Commonwealth Nations. President Karzai contacted the President by telephone this morning and extended well wishes for the President and for the people of Sri Lanka. Mr. Karzai also commended the President for taking Sri Lanka ahead in the social index and for achieving rapid economic development.
The 3rd year of the second ascension to power of President Mahinda Rajapaksa is being celebrated. Impartial analysts point out that it is because of his visionary leadership that Sri Lanka was able to achieve a massive progress within a short period of time. Mr. Mahinda Rajapaksa, who was born on 18th November 1945 as the 3rd son of Mr. D.A. Rajapaksa and Mrs. Dandina Samarasinghe Disanayake, started his political journey in 1968 as the Sri Lanka Freedom Party organizer for the Belyatha electorate. In 1970, he entered the parliament as the youngest member of parliament, successfully understanding the people's aspirations and with leadership qualities. Safeguarding the policies of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party with total dedication in victories as well as in setbacks blessed him in his successful political journey. He held several ministerial portfolios from 1994 to 2001, and in the year 2004 he became the Prime Minister of this country. He took his oaths in the year 2005 as the 6th Executive President of Sri Lanka. In the period of 1988 to 1999, he fought against the state terrorism, and his next fight started in the year 2005 against tiger terrorism. He gave leadership to totally eliminate tiger terrorism, which has denied the right of life to many people in the country. He gave this leadership by overcoming many local and foreign challenges. On 19th May 2009, this endeavour became successful, giving new hope for all Sri Lankans. The President got close to the hearts of the people by defeating terrorism and got ascended to his 2nd term of office on 19th November 2010 by winning the presidential election with a majority of 1.8 million votes. The President gave his experienced leadership to the Sri Lanka Freedom Party and the United People Freedom Alliance on all the general elections, provincial council elections and local government elections held after the year 2005, and won those elections with massive mandates and thereby changed the electoral history of the country. He was also capable of shattering the myth that no party could get a 2/3 majority in the parliament. Sri Lanka, under his leadership, became one of the most politically stable countries in the world. The President, who allowed the people of this country to raise their voice through footwalks, Janagosha and human change, has become the chairman of the Commonwealth Nations, under the praise and commendation of world leaders who visited Sri Lanka from all the corners of the world to take forward the Sri Lankan dignity and fame throughout the world.
Various religious functions have been organized in temples and other religious places to invoke blessings on the President for his birthday and for his 3rd anniversary and accession to power in the 2nd term. The President visited the Gangarama Vihara in Colombo yesterday and participated in religious rites. The chief incumbent of the Viharaya, the Venerable Galabora Nyani Serathero, and other members of the Mahasangha chanted Set Pirit to invoke blessings on the President. The President also joined the Ashirvada Puja held at Sambuddha Lokaviharaya in Colombo. The function was organized by the Sri Sangamitta Saddhakara Foundation under the guidance of the chief incumbent of the Viharaya, the Venerable Dharanagama Kusaladhamma Thera. The Mahanayaka of the Ramanya Nikaya, the Most Venerable Napani Pemasiri Thero, and the Venerable Dharampahala Chandrasiri Thero also participated in the Pinkama. After performing the religious rites by the President, the Mahasangha chanted Set Pirit to invoke blessings on the President.
Ramanya Nikaya Mahanayaka Ati Napane Pemasiri Puja Dharampahala Chandrasiri and Hivivaru Pramuka Mahasangharatne මේ අවස්ථාවට වැඩම කළා. ආගමික වතාවත් වලින් පසු භික්ෂුන් වහන්සේ ජනාධිපතිතුමාට පිරිත් සජ්ජායනා කර ආශිර්වාද කළා.
After that, the President attended a Pinkama ceremony organized at the Bellamvila Rajama Viharaya. At this Pinkama, the chief incumbent of the Viharaya, Professor Venerable Bellamvila Bimala Ratana Thero, invoked blessings on the President. The chief incumbent of the Papiliana Sunitra Devi Pirivena, Dr. Venerable Mandagoda Abeti Sathero, several members of the Mahasangha and Prime Minister D.M. Jayaratna and several ministers and parliamentarians joined this occasion. Later, the President participated in religious ceremonies held at the Kelaniya Vidya Lankara Pirivena. The President met the chief incumbent of the Kelaniya Viharaya and the Chancellor of the Kelaniya University, Dr. Venerable Valimitiyavi Kusaladhamma Thera, and the Professor Venerable Kumurugamwe Vajranayaka Thera, and obtained blessings from them. Well, a special puja was also held at the Vishnu Devalaya in Kelaniya to invoke blessings on the President. The President worshipped the Ashtapala Bodhiya and in the Devala premises and subsequently participated in the Ashirvada pujas. Minister Mervyn Silva also attended the occasion.
The ruling period of President Mahinda Rajapaksa can be considered as the era in which massive development projects had been implemented in the history of Sri Lanka. Here is a short account on these developments. The next war faced by the country after defeating terrorism was the war of developing the country rapidly. For this purpose, President Mahinda Rajapaksa took initiatives to further widen the foreign policy and establish diplomatic relations with new countries. This resulted in getting foreign assistance for many massive development projects in Sri Lanka. In line with this, the amount of local investment was also increased. Steps were taken for the development of the areas battered by terrorism for the last 30 years. The expeditious development process was hindered due to the lack of a proper road network. The President introduced expressways to the lexicon of this country by winning this challenge. The first segment of the first expressway of the Southern Expressway was built from Colombo to Galle at a cost of $700 million. The second stage of this expressway up to Mathura is nearing completion. The second expressway of the country from Katnayaka to Colombo was also declared open last month. All large and small roads were developed under the Gamanaguma and Maganaguma projects linking the villages and the towns. In order to enhance the power supply, the power plants at Keravalapitiya, Apakotmale and Norochole were constructed. In order to provide uninterrupted power supply to the Jaffna Peninsula, the Chunnakam sub-power station was established. The first stage of the Hambantota Mahinda Rajapaksa port was completed at a cost of $40 million. The Colombo South port was also developed and it was now become a major port in the world. Their passenger traffic congestion was eliminated by building the second international airport, the Rajapaksa International Airport at Mattala in Hambantota. The Yal Devi train service, which was totally abandoned due to terrorism, is now operating up to Kilnochi. Several huge irrigation projects such as Rambakin Oya and Veheragala Reservoir schemes were also implemented under this government. While the Nelumpokana Mahinda Rajapaksa Performance Theatre was being built in Colombo, the Magam Ruhunupura International Conference Centre was built in Hambantota and vested with the people. The present government is also carrying out building multi-storied housing complexes with all facilities to shelter the low-income earning families in Colombo. The Colombo city, which was inundated with flood water even for a slight rain, and garbage dumps were abundantly found everywhere, emanating foul smell, have now become a cleaner haven for locals and foreign tourists. Places like the Lake of Bear, Independence Square and Diavanava have been beautifully developed. In line with this, other towns in the country are also being beautifully developed. The infrastructure facilities throughout the country are undergoing wide and expeditious development. Due to the streamlined development process launched by the country since the year 2005, the government was able to hold with pride and dignity a massive international conference like the Commonwealth Heads of State Summit, which drew the attention of the whole world. It is due to the ongoing development projects that there was no necessity to carry out any new development work for the Commonwealth Summit.
Well, several functions have been organized throughout the country in connection with the President's birthday and the ascension to presidency. These functions include religious and social welfare programs. The Pinkam ceremonies to invoke blessings on the President were held at the Jayashree Mabodhiya, Ruanwali Mahasaya and the Atamasthana in Anuradhapura. These Pinkams were organized under the Anusasana of Mahasangha, including the chief incumbent of the Atamasthana, Dr. Venerable Pallegama Siri Nivasathera. The Chief Minister of the Northern Province, Ranjit Samarakone, also attended these functions. The National Rupavahini Corporation, in connection with the President's birthday and the 3rd anniversary of the second accession to power, offered alms to mothers in early this morning. Minister of Mass Media and Information, K.D. Rambukwella, Chairperson of the Sri Sangamita Saddha Kara Foundation, Mrs. Chandra Rajapaksa, the Chairperson of the Sri Lanka Army Seva Vanitha Unit, Mrs. Damayanti Ratnayaka, the senior management and staff of Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation joined the occasion. Lunch was distributed to the fisheries village in Kudavella and in patients of the Walasmulla General Hospital yesterday. The Southern Province Minister D.V. Uppal and the businessmen of the area organized the function. 100 milk cows that were to be slaughtered were released and distributed among 100 low-income families in the Kilinochchi area. This was organized by the Sri Bodhi Raja Foundation under the Anusasana of the Dr. Venerable Omalpe Sobitathero. The Kilinochchi Security Commander Major General Uday Pereira and several others attended the occasion. Several religious functions were held in the Central Province as well to invoke blessings on the President and the government. These religious functions were organized by the Central Province Governor's Office. The Governor Tikiri Kobbakadua also participated in the function. A special puja was held at the Khatragama Devalaya in Mavanalla in connection with the President's birthday and the accession to presidency. The foundation stone was also laid for a new building under the leadership of the Chief Minister of the Sabragamua, Mahipala Herath. An almsgiving for more than 100 members of the Mahasangha was held at the Kasagala Rajama Vihara yesterday to invoke blessings on the President. The Pinkama ceremony was organized under the Anusasana of the Chief Incumbent of the Vihara, the Venerable Talampuruwe Indrasiri Sumananayaka Thero. This function was held under the aegis of the Minister of Mahinda Amaravira. An all-night period chanting ceremony was held at the Navagamua Purana Vihara. It was organized under the Anusasana of the Chief Incumbent of the Vihara, the Venerable Malvane Panyasara Thero. An Ashirvada Puja and a poetical Dhamma sermon was held at the Viharamadevi Pirivena in Alpitia. The chairman of the Pradesh Sabha, Amila Karyavasam, and a large crowd attended the function. A milk and curd dansala was held at the Pasmanghandya in Veerakatiya. It was held under the sponsorship of the people of the Veerakatiya town under the participation of parliamentarian Namal Rajapaksa. A tree planting program was held in the Jaffna district in connection with the President's birthday and the anniversary of the accession to presidency. 10,000 saplings were planted under this program. The objective of the program was to reforest the northern province devastated by terrorism. A rice dancer was held yesterday at the Devala Mount Lavania Municipal Council premises. It was organised under the leadership of the Mayor of Devala Mount Lavania, Dhanasiri Amarathunga. A Pahan Puja to invoke blessings on the President in connection with his birthday and the anniversary of the session to power was held at the Temple of the Truth in Kandy today. This was organised by the Presidential Security Unit of Kandy. The Muslims also organised several religious functions to invoke blessings on the President. A special Ashirwada Puja was held at the main Muslim mosque in Vavuniya town to invoke blessings on long life to the President. A milk rice dansala was held in front of the Tangol Regional Education Office yesterday. It was organised by the 10th Battalion of the National Students Battalion. A colourful perahara with the participation of students paraded the streets of Tangol town. After that, they held a Bodhi Puja at the Vijayagiri Vihare in Tangol. Minister of External Affairs Professor Gio Pires said that the success of the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting has helped to raise the fame of Sri Lanka. The world leaders commended Sri Lanka for organising a successful summit. The minister made these comments at a media conference held in Colombo today. The Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting was held in Colombo from the 15th to the 17th of this month. The Youth Forum of the Commonwealth was held in Hambantota, the People's Forum in Hikkadua and the Business Forum in Colombo. The minister said that the delegates and other representatives who came to participate in these events were able to see the true situation of Sri Lanka. The minister said that the Business Forum was the most successful business forum held so far. Representatives from 86 countries, including delegates from non-Commonwealth countries, participated in the forum. They have expressed interest in investing on many projects. The world leaders have appreciated and commended the organisation capacity of Sri Lanka and the friendly nature of the people of this country. The minister said that this would bring many long-term benefits for the country.
I think the main benefit to the country was that many people who came expected to see a devastated country and a mood of pessimism, despair. What they saw was the exact opposite of it. And they were amazed at the degree of development which they saw with their own eyes in Colombo, but not only in Colombo. The creativity of our people, their mood of optimism for the future, all of this the foreign dignitaries were able to experience at first hand. We expect major investment to come into the country. It doesn't happen overnight. It happened in Perth, Australia, it happened in Trinidad and Tobago, and we are now following up. So when you take it as a totality, all in all, it was a magnificent event. The leaders who came could not believe that this is the development which is happening in our country. And they all said, whoever undertakes a responsibility for organizing an event of this kind in the future is going to find the task very challenging, because the incredibly high standards which have been established by Sri Lanka. So this is something of which we are inordinately proud.
In more local news, the foreign media personnel state that the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting was a golden opportunity received by Sri Lanka to raise the fame of the country throughout the world. They state that Sri Lanka is undergoing a rapid development. They also state that it is sad to note that certain international media depicting Sri Lanka as a country violating human rights.
Maybe it's a good chance for this country to move forward. It's a big chance to discuss how this 53 members bloc can move forward for a great development in social life, in economic growth, to change people's life, to get people's life better and better.
Economically good, it makes economically sound for the country. I think economically, I think as a country you have really benefited from this one. But again, the global image that you have now is not the one that was there maybe a week ago.
I think it's a very important event because it has shone a spotlight on Sri Lanka.
Whilst it's good for Sri Lanka, a meeting like this, and it really does show that after a civil war that went on for almost 30 years, the country is moving on. Unfortunately, as far as the media goes, we have very little access to the leaders.
Well, the brightest comet of this year, the I-Zone comet, can be seen from tomorrow. The planetarium informed that it can be seen in the eastern skies around 5 a.m. through the naked eye. The I-Zone comet was discovered by two Russian astronomers in the year 2012. They named the comet as I-Zone. It is traveling about 1.8 million kilometers from the sun these days, and there is a danger of that falling onto the sun due to the gravitation. Due to the brightness of this comet, it is also being named as the comet of the century. The scientists warn the people not to look at the sun if the sun has risen close to the comet.
670 rural electrification projects will be vested with the people in connection with the President Mahinda Rajapaksa's birthday and the 3rd anniversary of his second ascension to power. The government has spent 3,600 million rupees for these projects. The projects include 89 for the Northern Province, 46 in the Western Province, 96 in the Eastern Province and 63 in the Uva Province. 153 rural electrification projects have been completed in the Southern Province and 129 in the Sabaragamuwa Province. At present, the total number of households receiving electricity is 5.5 million and 91,292. The electricity required to supply these household amounts to 31.78 gigawatt hours. The government expects to add to the national grid another 300 megawatts of power under the second stage of the Narachole Lakvijay power plant and another 300 megawatts of power under the third stage. The Ministry of Power and Energy said the government is also planning to establish gas and other forms of power plants to meet the power demand in the country.
Well, the cycle tour, organized for the 3rd time in connection with the President's birthday and the 3rd anniversary of the ascension to power, has reached Vavuniya town. It rather commenced from Colombo yesterday. The destination of the cycle tour yesterday was from Puttalam town. It commenced its second day journey from Puttalam town this morning and ended near the Vavuniya Tamil Mahavidyalaya today. 120 cyclists are participating in the tour. It has been organized by the Giruva Patwen Thallaranata organization. The cycle tour is proceeded to Jaffna tomorrow.
There were many pleasant incidents during the time of the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, which ended last Sunday. Here is such an incident that is caught by our cameras. Prince Charles, during his Sri Lankan tour, went to Nuwara and inspected the condition of a school for students with special requirements. At that time, the students presented a dance performance to him. Prince Charles also joined the students in the dance. The dance performance was based on the Hokey Pokey English children's rhyme.
And to bring you your sports update today, we have Chalmindi with us in the studios. Good evening, Chalmindi.
Good evening, Sharon. Here's the latest on sports. The Czech Republic has won the Davis Cup for the tennis crown by defeating the host country Serbia. The final of the Davis Cup was held in the Serbian capital, Belgrade, recently. Radek Stefnik of the Czech Republic defeated Dusan Lajovic of Serbia by 3-0. The scores were 6-3, 6-1 and 6-1. There were more than 17,000 spectators to see the match. Serbia was the country that won the Davis Cup in the year 2010. However, this year the Czech Republic was successful in winning the cup by completing the match by 3-2 rounds.
Well, that's it for tonight's news. Do watch us tomorrow at the very same time. Good night.
Good night.